Hi, this is Paula with another postcard from South Carolina. Today we're at Charlestown Landing State Historic Site in Charleston, South Carolina. It was established in 1670 as the first original settlement of the city of Charlestown. They lived here for about 10 years before moving across the Ashley River to the present-day site of Charleston. Let's explore the park today. This is called the Spring Living History Festival, where there's going to be costumed reenactors demonstrating trades and skills. There's going to be live cannon and musket firings, and there's going to be an archaeological exhibit for us today to see. So let's go see what we can find and view some postcards from Charlestown Landing. We're heading into the visitor center now. This is where you can visit the gift shop, the interactive museum, rent bicycles, and pay for your park admission. Probably one of the most important signs we'll be seeing today. Just left the visitor center now. Let's head on into the park and see what we can see. After you leave the visitor center, if you turn and take the left-hand trail, you'll head out to the animal forest. But today, right now, we're going to take the right-hand path. Let's look back at the visitor center. So let's take the right-hand path. Take a look at the water. Just saw a nice little yellow-bellied slider. Little turtle sitting on a log. Saw some people down here looking at a great blue heron. Let's go see. Before we leave this visitor center area, if you notice, there's a large circle here. This is where you can take the tram. It's like a golf cart, a long golf cart, all the way down to the Palisade, which we'll be going through in a little while, and all the way out to the ship Adventure. Today, let's just walk. It's a beautiful day in April, about 60 degrees right now. No-see-ums are biting when you stop. If you keep moving, you're okay. Canadian geese. Take a seat on the swing for a few minutes. Charlestown Landing is one of the South Carolina state parks. This is a state historic site, but it was within the South Carolina State Park program. Let's take a look at the book that you can pick up that describes all of our state parks, and you can get your book stamped. Here we have the official guide to South Carolina state parks. These are free. You can pick them up from any state park. Let's go to Charlestown Landing State Historic Site page. It's 2 pages. It describes what you can see here. The animal forest, the Adventure, that's the replica ship, the visitor center, there's a museum. And down here, you can see where I got my book stamped. Once you get all of the stamps, you see a park ranger. Then you're turned towards the back of the book. You can see that once you get all of your 47 state park stamps, You can also get the State House stamp in Columbia. You fill out this verification form, you take it to the state park ranger, they make sure that all of your stamps have been placed in your book. They will take a picture and send it in, and you will become an ultimate outsider. You get a certificate, a t-shirt, patches, stickers, and you get some perks of being an ultimate outsider, like an exclusive scavenger hunt. That's a lot of fun to do to get some points. Once you get enough points, they send you more state park swag. Let's keep walking. The Kiowa chief, or cacique, invited the new English settlers to build their village here at Albemarle Point. The arrangement had immediate benefits for both the Kiowa and the English. The Kiowa often fought up against the Westos, an aggressive tribe who lived along the Savannah River. The Westos used European guns to raid other tribes' coastal villages. With help from the English settlers and their English guns, the Kiowa could better defend themselves against their longtime enemy. In return, the Kiowa helped the English feed, clothe, and shelter themselves during their early years in a wild and untamed land. It's a statue. Cacique of the Kiowa. This says, seeking a place for establishing a settlement, the first colonists were directed to this site by the chief of the Kiowa Indians. The friendly cacique and his people greatly helped the struggling colony. Let's see, this statue by William Hirsch, commissioned in 1971 by the South Carolina Tricentennial Commission. Let's go take a look from another point of view. Alright, I'm standing here beside the statue of Cacique with some new growth forest behind us. Let's take a look at this. This was the exhibit pavilion. Destroyed by Hurricane Hugo in 1989, it forced Charlestown Landing to close for several years. I remember going to this place when I was very young. You would go inside down a long ramp that curved and curved and curved. And down below it was, I can't remember whether there were 1 or 2 stories. That's where the museum was at the time. Let's read the back of the postcard. The exhibit pavilion traces a history for 100 years of the small colony that settled on the west bank of the Ashley River to the sophisticated, mature Charleston of 1776. This statue in the foreground is the Indian, the cacique of the Kiowa, who persuaded the colonists to settle here. And if you look, there's a copyright 1975. A unique thing about Charlestown Landing is that it has a 22-acre zoo. It only contains the species of animals that lived in the Carolinas in the 1670s when this colony was established. But now, buffalo and puma, those animals are no longer native to South Carolina. They still have them in this exhibit, but they also have things like bear, deer, fox, wolves, otters, and I think bobcats. Let's take a look at some postcards. These are the only postcards that I have at this time of the animal forest. We have the bison, red fox, white-tailed deer, and timber wolf. This postcard of the timber wolf came probably from about the 1980s. I'd say maybe 86. Yep, that's what my mom wrote on the back, 1986. Nowadays they have the red wolf. We'll go see if we can see those in a little while. This postcard is of the Landing Brave. This was a 22-foot tall carved wooden tree statue carved by Peter Wolfe Toth. It was placed here in 1977, but the park system removed it in 2017. It was rotted, there was rumors there was termites. Sadly, it had to be taken down. But it stood here for, 40 years. Loved seeing this. It was on the way to the animal forest, halfway between the pavilion and the animal forest. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see the sign leading us to the animal forest. We took so many photographs around this statue growing up. I remember class pictures being here whenever we would take field trips too. Let's take a better look at what we're going to see. Shorebirds, otter, red wolf, bear, puma, domestic livestock, skunk, deer, bison, turkey. There's restrooms in the back. Bobcat exhibit is currently closed, but we'll see when they can maybe get it open for us. I think it was storm damage from one of the recent hurricanes. Look at the swings as you enter. It's pretty nice.
Unshoulder your musket and poise. Cock your firelock. Present. Fire! Ball gun! Fire! Prime the piece!
Open it up, pour that loose gunpowder down the vent, connecting the compressed charge. Now that powder is not confined and compressed, so when ignite will burn a path to the compressed powder, causing a chain reaction and the explosion that is the business end of the gun. The last step will be to tend your match, and that'll mean that the gunner on the back right of the gun will blow upon the burning piece of coal in their linstock to ensure that it is hot enough to ignite the gun. If you wanted to cover your ears.
Gun 3, give fire! Gun 4, give fire!
This is the Adventure, a replica of a 17th century sailing and trading vessel that's at Charlestown Landing. Same view from about mid-1980s. The one on the postcard was retired in 2004. This new Adventure was built and came to the park in 2008. Here's another view of the Adventure. I can't quite get to the place where this postcard was taken, but here's another 1970s view of the Adventure. Look at this beautiful oak alley of trees. There's a Legree Waring House down at the end. As we continue to walk through the gardens, just look at these beautiful trees as we come around the corner here. Absolutely stunning. Over here on the left side, you'll see salt marsh. Tide's in today. Looks kind of like just right at high tide. Believe that is called Old Town Creek. Let's take across the way. At this beautiful pond. I was here a couple of weeks ago and there was about a 12-foot alligator laying on one of the banks. There's the Liquid Waring House. Let's see if we can spot a gator today. These beautiful wild irises growing on the side of the bank here. We've made it back around to the visitor center. This is the second picnic area. As you can see off in the distance a little ways, they've set up a bird feeding station. Numerous bird feeders. There's the lagoon we walked by when we first came in. I walked around all three lagoons. I did not see any alligators. Thankful for that. Let's take a look at the last few vintage postcards that I have. These are from the mid-1980s. There's the entrance road coming in. These last three postcards are available in the gift shop. These are the musket and cannon demonstrators. Thank you for coming along with me on this visit to Charles Town Landing State Historic Site. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notifications so you'll know when we visit the next small town or beautiful place in South Carolina. Thanks for watching. This is Postcards from South Carolina.